WALB News 10, Sports with Theo Dorsey.
South Georgia, let's talk sports. It's getting real. The countdown to college football is down to just weeks away, 3 to be exact. And for Albany State, head coach Dan Land says his squad is weeks ahead, 2 to be exact. The Golden Rams are in two-a-days mode, preparing for what should be a grueling fall. 21 days separate them from the season opener at Valdosta State, a game they dropped by just a touchdown last season at home. ASU had a busy offseason, bringing in 23 freshmen and adding depth at just about every position. More importantly for the Golden Rams was the commitment to excellence from the returning players. After falling short in the SIAC title game last fall, many of the veterans stayed for the summer to work off that bitter taste of defeat. Now Land feels his squad is ahead of the game.
You know, you got to put in the work during the offseason. That's when you get better, and that's what they did. And because now we can go faster when we get into camp. That's what we've been doing. The younger guys just got to catch up. They're going to force them to get in the playbook, learn what they need to learn, so when they get in it, they won't make errors. They'll be able to compete for a job. So the upperclassmen that stayed during this summertime, they are way advanced than the other guys. They know what we got going on. We already 2 weeks up on what we need to be.
Earlier this summer, the Golden Rams were picked to repeat as SIAC East champs. Now, let's take a peek at the team standing in their way. As mentioned, Albany State will open the season against the Blazers. That's Labor Day weekend in Valdosta. It will be the first game for Blazers' newly hired coach, Kerwin Bell. The very next week is the Whitewater Classic against Tuskegee, a game the Golden Rams dropped on the final drive last year. That's a neutral site game in Alabama. September 24th is the home opener, but all eyes are on October 1st, a rematch of last year's championship game and a great measuring stick for the Golden Rams, who will look to exact revenge. Now, every now and then it's nice to get a bit of comedic relief with police officers, especially the way things have gone in America over the past few months. Check this out. Houston Astros taking on the Toronto Blue Jays in bottom of the third inning. It's a foul ball. A.J. Reed is listed at 6'4", 240 pounds, and that police officer just felt every last bit of his frame. When the ball went up, the officer tried to get out of the way, but check her out as she ends up running right into the line of fire there. The officer would be okay. Everyone shared a laugh in the process, and this was actually in Toronto, not America still. No charges were filed, and the only retaliation was this nice smile from that police officer. And now let's take a look at the fishing game forecast. The best peak of the day comes right before noon, so happy fishing. Jeremy Davis was an undersized guard through his high school days at Deerfield Windsor and Doherty High. Instead of using that as a crutch, he used it to push him to unimaginable heights, and then when he took his talents to south of the border. The Jeremy Davis you see today is the reigning finals MVP of a Latin American basketball league. About 8 years ago, the undersized Davis was helping the Doherty Trojans through the playoffs. Since then, he's gained weight, height, and a ton of confidence. And he puts it all on show in the LMB down in El Salvador. He credits Albany with some of his success.
And you're playing in front of packed houses every night, so for that environment to have at such a young age, it kind of prepares you for the bright lights and the moments of professional basketball.
Davis is now a 5-year pro. This past season, he averaged 30 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. In the finals, his team dropped the first of a 3-game series. From there, Davis used what he learned here to force a do-or-die Game 3.
Game 3 was amazing atmosphere, thousands of fans. Wound up going out and hitting the game winner in that game.
During the offseason, Davis makes several trips back home to spend time with family and train. Robbie Givens has worked him out for years, and he knew from the jump Davis had what it took to be a pro.
Basically, the hard work, that's half the battle. Once you can get a person to dedicate themselves to putting in work, obviously you're going to get better as the days goes on.
His mother is his biggest critic. She's made trips down to see her son in person, but Davis admits being separated is the hardest part about being away from home.
You don't get to talk to him every day. It's a different environment when you have your family there every night, or a lot of your games in college, and now you're thousands of miles away, but they're always there to support any game I play on TV. They're always there tuning in.